Hi, Becca. How you doing, honey? Oh, my God. Well, we're off to a rollicking start tonight. Um, Wait a minute. There we go. I went through my usual routine, getting everything together, and then like 3 minutes before go time, looking at sound check, and my OBS suddenly didn't know that I had a microphone and couldn't find my desktop sounds. So I had to reboot my computer, which took for fucking ever because, of course, Windows is doing all kinds of updates. So while you've been sitting going, okay, well, yeah, she'll be here any minute, I've been fretting my ass off. But I'm here. I'm here. Happy Irish Day. I didn't even get myself new water. Happy Snakes Day. Happy Bring the Snakes Back to Ireland Day. You might be able to tell that I'm not a big fan of St. Patrick, if he existed, you know, because there's all those stories, and we all know about the Irish saints, you know, St. Bridget in particular. Anyhow, who else is here? Hello, say hello. Irish. Irish, right. And my husband's mother was English, so she always made it a point to wear orange on St. Patrick's Day. And we did, I usually do, you know, corned beef and cabbage. But I'm going to tell you about one of my very favorite YouTube channels. It's called Food Wishes. And Chef John is the best. When you start watching him, you'll think, what's wrong with this guy? Because he does a really kind of sing-song thing. He does a thing, you know, he just has a way, the way he talks. And you're going to think, you know, that you're going to get really annoyed in the beginning. But he has a great sense of humor. He's very smart, and he's such a smart ass. And his recipes kick ass. So instead of just regular old corned beef and cabbage, I did the brisket in the slow cooker today. And then I made his version of shepherd's pie. But it was a layer of cabbage on the bottom, and then carrots, and then corned beef, and then mashed potatoes with lots of butter and cream in them and stuff. And then you put it in the oven and bake it. And oh, so good. So good. I ate far too much. And I had a Guinness. Because, you know, it's Irish Day, so you got to have a Guinness. And nowhere on the can could I find how much alcohol was in that Guinness. We looked and looked and looked, and Tam had some, and he's like not so sure about beer. And it's like, well, you know, you have to have some Guinness. So gave him a little bit, and I mean, I have to say it didn't seem like it was very alcoholic, because I had more than a Guinness, and I don't know. I feel fine. So that was our stuff. And then we watched Riverdance, because I haven't watched Riverdance in so long, and I cried all the way through it. And when my daughter was 3, actually when she was younger than 3, is when Riverdance hit the Eurovision Song Contest. And they just did that one piece. And when she was less than 3, and we were living over in a neighboring town, and it was one of those nights where she was up in the middle of the night and was not going back to sleep. So we went downstairs, and I stuck her in her swing, and I'm watching PBS late night, you know. And suddenly, here is this song that had me like hiccup crying at the end. It was just so, so powerful. And then once we moved to where we are now, PBS put the whole of Riverdance out during their, you know, membership drive. And she used to put on this little green, it was kind of like this, kind of looked exactly like this, except it was green velvet. And she would hop around when they were dancing, and she would lip sync when they were singing, and she wanted to know why the Spanish woman flamenco dancer was so angry because she's very intense. Anyway, we watched Riverdance, and years later, my sister-in-law took us all to see Riverdance at E.J. Thomas in Akron, and Morgana and I sat and held hands and cried through the whole damn thing. So I hadn't seen it in a while, so we watched it, and I cried. And we had corned beef and cabbage and chocolate cake and Guinness. And it was a good evening. And it's been beautiful and sunny. And check this out, you guys. I got my first vaccination tomorrow. I'm coming back in, sorry. I got my first vaccination yesterday morning. And had to drive 45 minutes to get it. But I got it. It was Pfizer. Yay, I got the Pfizer. Yesterday, so that was like 9 o'clock in the morning. By the time I got home, my arm was getting sore. And, you know, a couple hours later, it was like, yeah, it really hurt to lift it up. And then I got very sleepy and I napped most of the day and just stayed down on the couch, falling asleep and waking up. Went to bed early, got up this morning feeling better than I've felt in a while. Like all winter. For the first time in a long time, I was up and going and doing all day. And what the fuck? So, you know, I don't know what this RNA stuff is doing in my system, but, and you know, another thing is I did that homeopathic preparation for 5 days beforehand, and I'm sure that mitigated any kind of effect, but to come out like the day after going, hey, I actually feel good, is odd. Anyway, 3 weeks from yesterday, I get my second dose, and we are planning Easter with the family. How wonderful is that? How wonderful is that? And if you're in a place where you can't quite get your mitts on a vaccine yet, I hope that you have some people doing what the women near me were doing, that they set up an email address and sent their information out to people, and it's just spreading word of mouth. They sit up at midnight, you know, right around midnight when the websites roll over and new appointments show up. They sit there and plug people in and are hooking up people with appointments where people have been hunting and searching and not finding anything. So I am so grateful to, you know, to have a nice 45-minute drive to get my frickin' vaccine. So grateful. So, okay, I want to know who else is here. Who's lurking? No lurking. No lurking. So today, I decided, I went back and forth a couple times, and I know in the description I have that I'm using the Celtic Tarot. Well, I'm not. I decided to use Celtic Messages and the Fairy Blessing deck, because this is a night that I don't feel like working hard, you know? So, it's going to be bad Irish accents all night, and the Fairy Blessing cards and these, and look at my little dish. My friend Tavia, when she sent me my crow deck, sent me this beautiful little wooden dish, and it's the perfect thing for my little dice. So, still waiting to hear who's lurking. Oh, you both like me, though. That doesn't get you off the hook for lurking. Be known. Stand up and be known. Tell us your name so we can greet you properly, you know. So I think after I'm done tonight, we'll probably go down and watch Darby O'Gill and the Little People. There's this movie that we've had since the kids were little. And it's fucking Disney with Sean Connery, even though he's a Scot. But it was like one of his first movies, if not his first movie. I mean, imagine Sean Connery singing in a Disney, you know, kind of cultural comedy. But it's great. The guy that plays the King of the Leprechauns, or Brian, his name's King Brian, and the man that plays Darby O'Gill is just, they're just fabulous. So if you can see it, you should see it. And then there's the Banshee, and she'll scare the shite out of you. All right. This is our last readings, set of readings that we start with our Pisceses. Because next Wednesday, we will be in Aries territory. Isn't that nice? All right. So let's get going here. I'm going to invite in the gang. And tonight, I'll ask my allies and ancestors, guides and guardians, fae and fairies, goddesses, creatures, little ones, the other crowd, the wee folk. Oh, the wee folk. I could have grabbed that one too. Oh well, we're stuck. I would welcome you all in, and before the evening is over, I will be leaving an offering of Guinness outside for them. So I invite you here. Help me deliver messages that are clear and helpful and insightful and hopeful. I invite the fairies in now to bring your blessings, and let me relay those blessings to whoever's here watching, whenever they do choose to watch. And I offer you fresh water. I should have brought the Guinness up now and put it out for an offering. I'm sorry you have to wait. You'll have to wait, but you will get it later, I promise. All right. Let's start off with the Celtic messages, first of all. I got my window open a little bit. It was another beautiful sunny day, 60-something degrees, 65 I think it was. It's been interesting because coming from a winter where we had like 0 sunny days in December, it was so dark. And then suddenly, something happened. Like towards the end of January, something happened that suddenly we're having lots of sunshine and hope. All right. Pisces. I want that one right there. All right, my Pisceans. We have the moon. Emotion, dreams, desires. And let's do these next. Okay. Venus and Gemini in the 9th. And then... Oh, don't do that. They were spreading so beautifully this afternoon. Okay, come on. Oh, I'm going to have to hit you with the powder. All right. How interesting is this? First of all, look at the colors. So we have the moon, which says emotion, dreams, desires. And here we have a blessing of dreams. And here we have Venus in Gemini in the 9th house. So definitely Pisces, for your last time at the front of the line here, it's all about your dreams now. Wrapping up your own sign, thinking about, you know, what are your dreams, and really looking at how I can bring these into the realm of reality, out of the place of vision and dream and into reality. So these up here, Venus and Mercury, or Venus and Gemini, sorry, Venus ruled by Mercury. But Venus in Gemini talks about loving a variety of things. Venus is how you express your affection, how you express your love. And in Gemini, it says that I love a variety of things, and I communicate, I express my love in words. So think now about the things that are your dreams, Pisces, and the things that you love and the things that you would love to bring into reality and into manifestation. And think about how you can take and put those into the form of words. because we've got, Pisces is all about the vibe and just, whether something feels right and telepathic communication, but we need to be able to connect with, the rest of humanity and the people that don't quite get the vibe as much as you do, Pisces. So talking about putting your love, putting your dreams, your creations, the beauty you want to bring into the world, and putting that into words. And then the ninth house says getting the word out there, spreading it out on a broad level. But it also talks about communicating about spirituality. So Pisces, you understand that spirituality is a unified thing, and that all the different religions, all the different belief systems are just that, they're window dressings and belief systems, but at the core we all share the same spirit. We're connected in that way, and Pisces understands it, in a way that no one else does. And it's time for you to start communicating that, Pisces, talking about what you love, and letting it not just be like in your head and things that you're dreaming about, but it's like speaking it into existence, like abracadabra. I speak it into existence. So that's what we're talking about here, Pisces, is whatever you've been holding on to through the winter months, whatever's been kind of cooking around inside, it's time to bring it out now and share that beauty with the world in a verbal way, in a way that communicates your ideas, and in a spiritual way. Start telling us about the belief systems, about the belief system that we should all be sharing. But this week, pay attention to your dreams, write them down, write some poetry. This is like classic for writing poetry and doing some automatic writing and some channeling type stuff. Okay, Pisces, enjoy your Pisces territory for the next 3 days before we go into Ariesville. Let me see, when do we change? I know we change on Saturday, but I'm looking for the exact time. And I've got all my shit buried, so never mind. Never mind. Okay. So the blessing from the fairies, that is one of your gifts and your blessings, Pisces, is the ability to dream, the ability to think in ideals, to take things to the higher level, to the spiritual level. Hi, Marcy. It's okay, honey. I'm glad you're here. Hi, Lisa. Yay. It's a group. All right, Aries. You. Guess what? I picked the same one. All right, Aries. Thank you for not being the same one, because I would laugh hard. Okay. And then, what do you want? 5. Mars, Aquarius, 5. All right, Aries. Well, your planet Mars is coming up, and we have, dreams as well. So coming out of winter and into spring, when we're feeling so hopeful and we're feeling things getting just a little bit coming out of the dark. We're coming out of the dark, right? And so time now to start dreaming about not like lifelong things, but in the short term, about spring. Now we can start really realistically thinking about, what do we want to do this summer? What's going to be available for us to do? I want to caution against speeding into things, because not everyone is vaccinated yet. Things are still kind of going slowly. Things are still rolling out. There's still variants that are wandering around. So we don't want to go, delude ourselves thinking, oh, we're going back to normal this summer. But we can begin to think about the people that are close to us and our families and getting together with them and, that sort of thing. So we can start to dream in the short term about the activities that we want to do. There's Mars talking about activity. Aquarius talking about changing things up. Yes, this is going to be time to really do rethink everything. We have permission now to rethink what we want to do. And fifth house is the creative Aries. So focusing on the fifth house, focusing on action, focusing on innovation for you. And we get the blessing of the Beltane dew. And I'm going to look this up because some of them you can just, go off the cuff. But there's a little phrase with each that is not on the card. The fairy gift of feeling beautiful and awakening to your own attractive qualities. Okay, so the Beltane dew, there is a story with Beltane that if you go out and you wash your face with the dew on the grass on the morning of Beltane, that it gives you blessings and great beauty. So they're talking about what beauty you have to shine to the world. And I'm going to look again here. With your attractive qualities, be well in face and form, express your beauty. Do not forget that however many years you've lived upon this earth, your spirit is free and alive, attractive and restored. Enjoy the gift of the Beltane dew, friend, and know thou art beautiful. Isn't that lovely? So expressing that beauty in a way that's fun. The Mars in the fifth house is like sports and activity and physically active, getting out and being physically active. And then the Aquarius vibe there just says it's time for something new. Time to get rid of the old. More than get, something new, it's time to clear the old out and make way for the new. So dream your dreams, Aries, get out, shine your light to the world. I mean, I feel like this giddy feeling around you, Aries. With Mars in Aquarius, it's new ideas. Whatever new creative ideas you have popping up, it's time to take action on them right now, Aries. And think about this. We are in between now, that Pisces new moon and then the sun going into Aries. So we've got boom, boom, these great beginnings. And dream it up, bring it into being. All right. Hello, Amy. What am I doing here? That's what I'm doing. Let's see how many times I can pick the moon card tonight. Oh, that one shot out. So we're going to go with that. Ear of corn. And then... So what do you guys do for St. Patrick's Day? And I drove through town today, and of course, lots of students. And last weekend is what we call Fake Patrick's Day in Kent, because that's when all the students go downtown from early in the morning and they're puking by noon. And I went past Frat Row, and it was all beer pong on the front lawn. And let's see, what did we get there? I'm going to keep going. No masks, people walking downtown with their day-glow green, big, stupid, poofy hats and beads. That's Mardi Gras, folks. And Kiss Me, I'm Irish and all that kind of stuff. And it's just like, oh, really, really, really. So, some things don't ever change. This is so weird because when I had these out earlier, they were just... Taurus. So we have ear of corn, harvest and accomplishment, Taurus. We have Aquarius or Uranus, Scorpio, and 7. So the ear of corn, Taurus, tells you to really take stock now of what you have accomplished over the last year. What was your harvest? What projects did you start? what came to fruition, what didn't, what is still in process, what needs to be reconfigured and rethought. Certainly being grateful and thankful for what you have brought to fruition, what has come to harvest, and, giving yourself credit for your accomplishments. And now Uranian energy comes up in Scorpio, which, you've heard this phrase from me so many times, radical transformation. Uranus energy is radical, it's sudden, it's disruptive, it's lightning. This is the tower, Uranian energy is the tower card, the lightning struck tower. So it's time to awaken about something deep here. Uranus and Scorpio. Uranus is the awakener. In Scorpio, it talks about deep, deep, deep emotional things. So it's time to bring those into the light of day. Maybe something that you've been holding together, and hanging on to. It's time to let it go. So, like the tower, it can just fall apart. Let lightning strike, let the old worn out things blow up and go away. And seventh house is talking about relationships. Whether this is romantic or it's business, it's partnership, somebody that you have to collaborate with. That there needs to be a deep awakening around. So this week, just look at what you can drag into the light. Look at what the light is trying to bring to your attention. And then go deep. Go deep into the process and see what is there for you to discover. And then look at how this relationship can be updated, how it can be innovated, how something new can be brought to bear. And then the blessing from the fairies is a blessing from the ever young. So it's saying, it was like with the Aries card saying, no matter how old you are, the phrase here says, the fairy gift of joyous energy that flows all the days of your life, whether you be young or an elder with many years behind you. So the gift from the fairies for you, Taurus, is energy. For this week, boundless energy, like you're young again, just to do whatever you need to do, to update, to dig out the old calcified stuff, to take a relationship into new territory, and to not rest on your laurels, but really internalize that sense of accomplishment that you've had so that you can use that to launch you into the spring, to launch you into something new. All right. Sparkly green eyeshadow, there we go. And somebody popped out here for Gemini. Yeah, we listen to Irish music and we eat food that corned beef and cabbage really isn't Irish. Hate to tell you. Corned beef is, New York deli. But that's what they call Irish boiled dinner here, so that's what we have. And, former years I've made soda bread. And I think it was Chef John that had a fabulous recipe for soda bread. I highly encourage you to go to Chef John at Food Wishes. He really is one of my favorite YouTubers. This is Chef John from foodwishes.com with... He has a great shtick. All right. Gemini. Nope, I want you. Blessing from the ever young again. All right. So Gemini, you've got a lot of energy to work with this week as well. And some things might need revising. We've got the crow here, a new start, clearing the ground. But I'm looking at something being revised because we've got the south node here. And that means the way that you've already been. That's the old way. So in Aries, it's kind of like we've got to go and revisit where we've been in order to start off new, you know, in order to decide where we're at so we can start something new. Um, and in the fourth house, so this is around the home for you, Gemini. Um, Aries is about starting something new, you know, a new start to the astrological year. I'm working with this idea of Aries being new start and the south node being the way we've come. All right. So the new start for you, Gemini, comes from knowing where you've come from and from reviewing that and really giving it a good assessment of what worked and what didn't. And this is around, again, the domestic situation, your physical home, your family. So time to look back and say, we've come, you know, we've come so far, and really wring all the information out of it so that you can have a new start and clear the ground. So this is like assimilating the old stuff, assimilating the lessons, making sure that you've acknowledged the important things you've been through this year and what they've meant to you. And then time to clear the decks and get a fresh start with the spring. And then the blessing from the ever young, like it was with Taurus, is just a lot of energy. You can look forward to this week, just kind of a rush of energy. I mean, think about it. Just a few more days and the sun takes over. The light takes over from the dark. Did we ever think we'd get here? You know I didn't. I mean, we kept hoping, but we're here now. So exciting. I feel like this is light reading tonight. And that's pretty much where I'm at. Oh, look at all the green. Oh. Yeah, and you know, St. Patrick's Day really started in the US. It's not something that the Irish celebrated. It was a church holiday. You know, you go to mass and hear masses said in, you know, in honor of St. Patrick and everything, but this drunken debauchery shit is all down to the US. Go figure. Okay. Cancer. And you know what? I got to clean my glasses. Hold up. They're so bad. And when I'm looking at the camera, all I can see is this schmear. So talk amongst yourselves because I can't read what you're writing while I've got my glasses off. Oh my God, so much better. All right. Oof. And of course, here in the States too, everybody's waiting for the money to drop. Ours has not yet, but I have some friends that received it last Saturday, like, you know, 2 days after he signed it. All right, that's gonna have to do. There. All right. All the English pubs are open. Really? Oh yeah. Well, COVID. Yeah, no kidding. Well, here people can't wander around with drinks, so you've got to go to a bar. And there was many games of cornhole and beer pong going on. All right. Cancer. See, that's how they're supposed to go. You got your monies. Good for you, Beck. Mabon. So for Cancer, we're looking at fall. See if I can get him to spread better. Nope. I can tell I'm going to get the fanning powder out. Fanning powder and the makeup brush. Look out, cards. Here I come. Over here, I want you. Ooh. All right. Mabon is fall equinox. And we've got the south node up again. Libra in the 7th. Okay. So this is divine child liberation. All right, let's focus on the liberation part, Cancer. It's time to set yourself free. Time to dump the old schedule, the old agenda, the old shoulds. My friend used to say, don't should on yourself. You know, whatever standard you're holding yourself to, or that you're saying you should, or it's this feeling of something pressing down on your shoulders, okay? This feeling of, good girl, here's what I have to do. If I don't do this, then I'm not a good girl, I'm not a good person. So it is time for you to set yourself free here. Maybe looking back to September and what was going on there, but there's a sense that I'm getting, like a sense of obligation or a sense of duty that needs to be updated, that you need to free yourself from. Either you're thinking somebody really needs blah that you do for them, and maybe they're thinking they'd like a change up as well, but it's something that you need to liberate yourself, you need to set yourself free from. And the south node is like, this is comfortable, and we've got Libra and the 7th house, so this is also all about relationships, close relationships, committed relationships. So you need to move forward. We're doing things the way we were. This is familiar and it's comfortable, but this divine child here is saying, I need to be set free. So something in the context of a relationship, something needs to be renegotiated, recommitted, or just acknowledge that maybe we've fallen into a rut and it's time to change some things up. And let's see the blessing of the white heart. And this is integrity and recognition of the sacred. You see the white heart, H-A-R-T, one of my totems? Okay. So the white heart, there was a legend about seeing this white stag in the woods. And if you saw it on the hunt, it's a fairy creature, and it was a sign that you must keep true to what is sacred. When you receive this gift, it may seem like a burden, but don't feel this way, for it is that you are recognized as a person of high integrity, and to keep to this is most important at this time. Okay. To keep what is sacred, sacred. So we've got this, this idea of obligation. And the thing is, with the sacred, keeping what is sacred, sacred doesn't mean dogma. It means you need to liberate yourself from something that has become kind of a dogma to you spiritually. And you need to know that it's not, it's not going to be horrible if you just toss the dogma out the window and cling to the sacred part, recognition of what's really sacred there. And, stick with your integrity. But here too, just as far as, relationships go, it's time to recognize where the pattern is emerging that you need to change so that you can move forward. Okay. I felt that was a little all over the place. I don't know. Let me see. Bible Magic 8 TV, wow. And look what just flipped out of the deck again. So, I hadn't even really started talking about Leo, but here we go. All right, Pisces, Aries, Leo. This week seems to be all about dreams. and bringing them into reality, bringing them into clarity. Okay. Okay, me. Cards, why are you doing this, fairy cards? I don't understand. You're fucking with me, aren't you? Little shits. I'm only kidding. They know I'm only kidding. Okay. Yeah, Marcy, I'm hearing that. There's well, let's just see what I come out with here for Leo. And they're pulling me over this way again. I want the one in the middle. A blessing of stability. Okay. All right, so Leo, this is saying that you can afford to dream big because the fairies are bringing you a blessing of stability. So there's going to be there's some stability happening this week, a feeling of having your feet on the ground, right? A feeling of foundation, you know, solid earth under your feet. And so from that sense of stability, you can really reach out and start to dream big. Looking at your desires, dealing with your emotions, clearing out emotions that are getting you stuck and standing in the way of you bringing your dreams and desires into fruition. Pluto is what you get here. So that's the transformer. In Libra, we've got to transform how you relate to someone or something. And the 8th house is also Pluto's and Scorpio's house. But we're talking about other people's resources. So we need to transform how you deal with money with somebody else, possibly. Someone that you share resources with. And time to really sit down and maybe make some plans with them about how you're going to use the resources that you have, and not just I'm going to do this, you're going to do that, but putting things together, because Pluto here says we can do a lot more. We can have a lot more power with our resources when they're shared and when we negotiate. Okay. I'm finding that very interesting. But again, dream big. This is the last few days of Piscesville here. So let's spend it just kind of kicking back. And I said, I don't know if you were here at my prayer circle last week. Hey, Bible Magic. Hi. Thanks, man. Thank you. I'm glad you're here. But I was talking about, we did a prayer circle around preparing the garden. Preparing this garden, your energetic garden, for the equinox and for the time when you're going to be planting seeds. And it feels like this week is this pause. There's a pause between that Pisces new moon and the sun's ingress into Aries. So it's a blessing, you know, this pause is a blessing. I know the blessings we've had this week. My husband and I both have gotten our first round of vaccine. I think by the end of April, I can't remember whether it's April or I think they said the beginning of May, my son and daughter will be able to get theirs. And we, you know, we're almost there. So it is a pause. It's a blessing. But we also have to be really aware of the reality of where we are and not get lost in the dreaming, or not think that this stability is here for good and forever. There are still things that need to be negotiated. You know, the person with the money has the power. And this definitely talks about shared money and talking about plans, the things that you want to do with your shared resources. All right? Okay, my lovely lions. Hey, I wonder where my Pi is. Hi. Hi, Wacket. That's why I can't wait for my money to show up so we can take him to the vet. Hey, Pi! He didn't care about his mom anymore. He's a teenager. But he's my sweet baby boy. Okay, Virgo. Oh, I want that one right there. Doctor. Ugh, South Node again. Well, and you know, it kind of makes sense because we're still in Pisces, which is a mutable sign. Mutable signs are past oriented. So these next few days, we're still looking at, you know, going back over the past. Ah, clumpy cards. Okay, that's the last time I'm going to bitch about them. Promise. This one. All right, Virgo, Dagda, father, protection, and a blessing of a safe place in the world. Okay, Virgo, this is about boundaries. This is about who's the boss. This week is time to step up and really look at how you can tighten up your territory, you know, how you can protect your boundaries. Father vibe, emperor vibe can also talk about decisions to be made. Let's look at. It's the number 2 card. The good God and chief deity. Represents wisdom and fertility, wields tremendous power. Okay, so this talks about someone that you can look to. It also recommends you learn to see the lighter side of life and don't take yourself too seriously. All right. But this also talks about being able to go for help and advice. So, Virgo, this saying, it's not all down to you. Look at who you can ask for advice or for help. That it might be time for someone else to step in and take some responsibility around keeping things safe, keeping things secure, protecting what you have. And so this card that talks about protection and this one talking about a safe place, obviously the focus here is on safety and protection. And I want to look at this. We've got snowdrop fairies. That looks like snowdrop. The fairy gift of a sanctuary, a space in which to feel completely supported and loved. So this could be somebody else taking over for a while. Duties that you've done, you know, maybe you've been that figure of I'm the one taking care of business, the, you know, the father type figure. But this is saying maybe it's time for someone else to take a little bit off of your shoulders, and so you can just sort of have a safe place to step back and be quiet and feel safe. So definitely asking for help. This one is South Node in Sagittarius in the 4th, so we are talking about the home front. And the question here is, who is the giver? Who is the giver in the home front? Who is always habitually the one that's giving, 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 and everybody relies on that generosity? Because now somebody else needs to step up and give. Because Sagittarius is, you know, Jupiter. It's giving generosity. Here you have the benefit of all that I'm willing to give, but this talks about the old way, the way that we've been going, the old patterns. And so are you the one that is constantly giving within the home and you never ask for somebody else to step up and give as well? Time, Virgo. It's time. And again, was I talking about this? When was I talking about this? Might have been on Facebook. That fine, go ahead, because Virgos like to do things themselves because they want it done right. Virgo is the queen of, if you want something done right, do it yourself. However, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you want to do it all because you want it done a very particular way, nobody's going to stop you. But there's a trade-off. And the trade-off is if you choose to take it all on, you give up the right to bitch that it's too much. And if it is too much, then you need to ask somebody else to step up and take some of it. And then you don't get to bitch about how they're doing it. You know, work that out on the front end. Here's the way I like things done, but I need help, so please do this. And I mean, the question to ask is it that important that it's done a very specific way, or is that just what makes me, you know, happy and feeling secure? So again, if your security is based on how things get done, then maybe you want to do them yourself. Just know that you need to be happy about that choice and not bitch about it. And if you ask for help for someone else to step up and be generous on the home front, then please be generous to them in accepting the help that they give and not picking about how they do it. Unless it's something that really matters about the way it's done. Okay? We got specific with the Virgos. Hi, Sherry. Hi. It's okay. I got started late tonight. Oh, baby Joe. Hi, honey. Yay. Look at everybody. Everybody came to join the gang. All right. Libra. Ooh, look at that nice green. The spring, the spring. Biting my tongue. Okay. You. Ooh, okay. So we have the spring and we have the blessing of the liminal space. Oh, that sounds pretty freaking cool. There's the liminal space, Neptune in Cancer in 12. That's indeed the liminal space. Wow, okay. So, dreams. Wow, it's hard to read. Refreshment of spirit is what that says. So more dreams, but this is again that refreshment, the feeling of spring, the feeling of light, fresh air, open windows, dust blowing out, you know, just the general brightness of everything. So Libra, there is that feeling of being refreshed for you this week. But then let's look over here, the blessing of the liminal space. Liminal, the liminal space is the in-between spaces. It's that boundary where something is changing and it's neither this nor that, and it's both this and that. It's that in-between place. So liminal is like that place where you're almost falling asleep, but you're still kind of that's that liminal space. And that's where stuff gets in. That's where I used to have a thing where I would be like falling asleep, and go into that liminal space, and it would sound like somebody turned a radio, like somebody was turning the tuner. You know, just chatter, chatter, chatter. So that's the liminal space. And for you, Libra, it's talking about going and spending time in that space. Neptune in the 12th house, okay, our natural partners. Cancer is also a water sign, so we've got a lot of water here. Libra, time to let go of what you think you know. And let yourself drift into that liminal space. And let something new come in. And of course, if that freaks you out in any way, you're going to do this in the space of a circle, right? You're going to keep yourself protected and grounded and call in your guides and your guardians to watch everything. And then you are going to let yourself drift into that liminal space and see what comes up. The Cancer talks about with your feelings. Hold on a second. It's in the realm of your feelings and taking care of your feelings. But it's also about deep karmic patterns as far as your feelings go. So we've got kind of this new fresh start, and it's time to open up this way and let spirit come in and bring you some information, Libra. Let's see what this says. The fairy gift of gateways, sacred sites, enchanted times. Find the space in between, find the magic that dwells within, find the fairy circle in the field. Let yourself be blessed again and again with the blessings of the enchanted ones. Okay, so time to go a-wandering and look for that place like in the Mists of Avalon where the mists come down and you wander between the realms. Time to do a little bit of that wandering, Libra, and see what comes through for you. Pay attention to your dreams. Do some trance work. You've heard me preach about Kelly Howell a lot, all you guys. Who has tried some of her recordings? Here. Because if you haven't, you really, really, really need to. And it doesn't have to be Kelly Howell. Look for binaural beat recordings for theta. Because you can put on theta recording and sit there with your eyes open. You don't have to lay down and, flake out that way. You can have it on while you're doing things, and your brain will be in trance state while you're doing whatever you want to do. And you know, or maybe you don't, that trance state is the state of learning. When we really learn and we take information in and it goes from short term to long term, we are in trance state. That came out blood eye with. Okay, Scorpio. Hi, Rose. You made it in time, darling. We're just on Scorpio. Oops. Okay, we're going to go with this. We got the blessing of stability as well. So Scorpio stability and Bladaiwith is secrets, solitude, love. Okay, hold on. Secrets, solitude, and love. Is that what it really says? Yes, it is. Okay. And then a blessing of being understood. Okay, Sun, Capricorn, 6. So this talks about sharing secrets with someone. Scorpio. You're very, very good at listening to other people's secrets. And people, for Scorpios, people will parade their shit in front of you. If you're a Scorpio, you're a giant projector screen, and people will act out their stuff for you. But for you, you keep everything very close to the vest. So this week, Scorpio, it's time to let somebody in. Someone who loves you, someone that you can spend alone time with and just really let into your inner sanctum and share some of your secrets with them. Time to share some of who you are. Here's the Sun. Some of what your goals are. Here's Capricorn. What do you want to do with your life? What status do you want to achieve? How do you want to serve humanity? Sixth house. And who is there in your life that will understand these things so that you can share with them and they can mirror it back to you? Yeah, I get it. Boy, I really get what you mean. And so this can talk about someone that you love and really trust to that point. But it can also talk about maybe somebody new that, you know, if the people around you don't quite get you, that it's someone else that can come in that can really go, yeah, boy, I've been there. I really get it. And you can have that wonderful blessing of being seen, of feeling like you're seen and you're understood. But you got to be willing to open up and show who you are and share your goals with some people. And this is in the realm of your workspace, Scorpio. So there's something here where you can let someone know of a goal you have and how you would like to move forward in advance. And it is time to share that because you have this blessing of being understood. Somebody's going to get it now. Okay? There you go. All right. Oopsie. This has popped out a couple times tonight. Leisure, creativity, artistry. So, and what that's saying to me, I actually put my one guitar in the spare bedroom because it's been sitting there, and I have not played in months. You might be able to tell by those fingernails that I haven't played in a while. They're usually cut. You know, they're never, you can hardly ever see the whites on these fingernails, but they're growing because I just haven't been playing. So that's jumping out to scold me. Now let's see what Sagittarius has. Oh. Pulled this way. Whichever one sticks is coming out. All right. Boy, I'm having a terrible time reading these tonight. The Wildwood. It's just, I don't know if you can see that. I mean, it looks like it's a lot easier to see, but do you see how difficult it is to read that very skinny black writing on those dark colors? We just have to beat the cards into a line. We just spank them. Spanking the fairies into submission. Oh God, they're gonna get my ass. Ooh, okay. Where are we at? Is this Sag that we're on? Or did I just do Sag? No. That was Scorpio, right? Catch up with me, everybody. All right. Waiting for the 25 seconds to go by till you guys heard me say, are we on Sag? Pretty sure. Okay. No, they're saying down here. And we have a blessing from the ever young for the third time tonight. Venus and Gemini in 7. Okay, the wildwood. I'm going to look it up because I'm not going to try to see. I can't even tell if the number is 6 or 16. I think it's 16. And after I cleaned my glasses, I realized that it wasn't really my glasses that were fuzzy. It's stuff in my eyes. Yay, spring! Okay, the wildwood. Disorientation, temptation, excitement. Okay, we see the fox there. There's the giveaway. Okay. Temptation to give in to your instincts and impulses is very strong right now. This is talking about craving excitement. Not in, and the disorientation is because you're got the craving and the desire is so strong you can't really see what's going on around you. Saying indulge your primitive side, but make sure you have a safe way home. So Sag, not time to go way out on a limb, not time to engage in risky behaviors. As with everybody else during this time, yes, we're all feeling the spring fever and we want to get up and at 'em. And we can, but do it safely. Start finding out who has been vaccinated around you. Who is it safe to be around? And for God's sakes, if you have parents that are at risk or that are, older and you haven't been vaccinated yet, but they have, you can still carry things to them. The vaccine doesn't mean you can't get COVID. It just means it probably won't be very bad. So, and interestingly, I saw an article in the Washington Post yesterday that was talking about COVID long haulers, the ones that have had chronic symptoms going on for months and months and months and never seem to clear it, that they are seeing a pattern of these people being vaccinated and within like 36 hours their symptoms disappearing. So, I found it very interesting that suddenly the day after I get this vaccine, I feel better than I have in a long time. I feel like I'm not dragging anymore. I've been really dragging, and so it's fascinating to me. All right. So the ever young talks about having some energy too. So Sag, burst of energy for you this week as well. Just be careful of how far you're taking that burst of energy. Venus in Gemini says we want to have fun. We want to go out and do beautiful things and just have a good time. In Gemini's like, I want to have a lot of good time. I want to do a couple different things. I got to do this and I got to do that. I want a lot of variety and, want to go out and be very social. Venus in Gemini is also very social. And 7th house is about relationships. So how about this? How about having your safe person or a couple safe people that you can go out and have fun with, not go out and, mix in the general population? Because this talks about maybe being tempted to engage in some risky behavior that goes a little bit too far. So, if you want to let your hair down and tie one on, fine. Do it with a couple of friends that you can have a great time with, but keep the environment contained so that you can stay safe. All right? And you can get that energy out of your system in a fun way with some friends. Okay. Also, Sagittarius, talking about maintenance in your relationship, there's some things that you might need to say to your partner. It might be time to express to them verbally things which, they know I love them. They already know that. But this is saying it would be a good time to verbally express your love to your committed partner and just say, you know what? I know I don't say this to you often, but I love the way you do this for me. I love the way you do these things without me having to ask. It's amazing. And, you know, what can I do for you? Or just putting into words something that's usually just sort of understood. All right. Capricorn. Yay, Rose. Which one did you get? I got Pfizer. Okay. All right, Cappies. I'm feeling it going ping pong, back and forth. All right. I know, over here. Oh, we got the crow up again. A new start, clearing the ground. And Capricorn, too, when I think about crows, I think about shiny things, what they get attracted to. And it can kind of pull you off base sometimes when you see bright shinies. Now the blessing of the white heart again. Pisces 6. All right, Capricorn, clearing the ground, time to get rid of that old stuff that's been piling up. I know you've got stacks of things that you've gone through this winter. I know I'm going to get rid of these, but you have plans for them. I'm going to sell it. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I think it might be time to just make it go away. It really is true that when you move, when you get things moving, things move, you know? You can have great plans for it, but it's sitting there, and if the plans are for down the road, it's just going to be sitting there and clogging your energy. So sometimes you can get the return on things, and I know the sticking point, but these are worth something. I can get something out of it. I'm not just giving it away. But energetically, at this particular time, you can start an inrush of new energy by just moving some things out. So maybe some things that you were thinking about having a yard sale, or I could put them up on eBay, or I could, I can sell these things somehow, Facebook Marketplace, whatever. It might be time to just donate. You know what? This is just my gift that I'm giving to whoever needs them, and watch what happens. You give those gifts away, and then while you're doing it, I am making room for, and you're making a space for the new things to come in. I am making room for, and put it out there. But the moving of stuff out just starts the flowing of energy so more stuff can move in. And I have to look up Blessing of the White Heart again. Okay, recognition of the sacred. So this is just talking about recognizing the sacred when it shows up in your life. I got a story. Get things moving and things move. I know. Yeah, I'm brilliant tonight, aren't I? Yay, you got Pfizer too. Okay. Oh God, this was years ago when I was still doing Mother Drum. And we had a broken dryer. And I told my husband, get it out of there. Just get it out. We need to make room for the new. And he was like, well, I'm going to try to fix it, and I'm going to do it, whatever. And we can't afford a new anyway, so I'm just going to leave it there. And we had, Mother Drum was always on a Friday. And on Thursday, I said to my husband, get that dryer out of the laundry room. I need to make a space for a new one to come in. Now, we didn't have money for a new one. We didn't have a plan for a new one. It's just that there needs to be a hole there for something new to come in. We did Mother Drum on Friday, and that particular Mother Drum, I had a friend who was going through a rough time financially. And we put Lakshmi, my Lakshmi that's in the middle of my altar back there. She was on the altar. I had milk and honey on the altar. I had this beautiful golden purse was open, and I had all kinds of cash. Cash was spilling out of it. I asked people to bring donations, and these were given to the person that was having trouble. And at one point, I took the money that was on the altar, and we were dancing, and I can't even remember what we were doing, and I was throwing it in the air. Look, it's raining money. It is raining money. It was just like this big abundance thing, but it was all pointed towards my friend, and we collected, I don't know, a couple $100 that I then donated to her. And the next day, on Saturday, there's a knock on the door, and a couple doors down from me, a woman and her husband lived, and she was like a secretary that worked for the apartments, and she was also the niece of a dear friend of mine. So they knew who we were. We knew who they were. Knocking on the door, they're getting ready to move. Do you guys need a washer and dryer? Because we're moving, and I'm getting a new one, and I want to take them. And it's like, well, the dryer's broken. We only need it. Well, I have a washer and dryer. Do you need them? So the old washer went out, and the day after that, Mother Drum, a new washer and dryer, new to us, showed up, came to my door. Hi, I'm your new washer and dryer. So get the old stuff moving. Move it out. Even if you know it's worth something, I could sell it. Lighten your load right now, Capricorn. Clear the ground, lighten your load. Recognize the blessing that's in that. I move this out and I start the magic flowing and what I need, the new stuff, and make sure that you say, that you're specific about here's what I need. And then watch the magic happen. Mars in Pisces in the 6th. This is about service. Oh my God, here. This is saying it's time to get moving, to sacrifice, to give something up for the greater good, and the 6th house is service. Here's how I serve humanity. These are things I've taken great care of. They're great. Somebody can use these, and somebody's going to make money off them that needs it, and off they go. All right? There's not anything wrong with making money off of something. And if that's going to be easy for you to do it. But if it's an uphill climb just to make a few bucks off it, let it go. All right? Okay. So you got a big story. Okay. Yeah, I don't have the patience for it either. And, I mean, we've just, especially, when the kids were little, and time for clothes to go, and you'd see people with these yard sales with all their baby clothes, and it's like, you know what? No, I don't do that. We have always given, and we've always received when we needed. So, okay, Aquarius, this is our last one, eh? Okay. God, an hour and 20 minutes. I can't believe that. I feel like it took me a while to get started tonight. But, this is where I'm starting to formulate now resolutions so that I can get my new computer, because my computer just keeps firing these warning shots that things are going to wear out on me. So I am formulating that I need the money for my new computer so I can get things set up and I don't have to worry about them anymore. All right, Aquarius. No, I want you. Taliesin. Ooh. Pat, 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 pat. Okay. Aquarius. Right there. Okay, Taliesin is romance and originality. And this is a blessing of fairy magic. I mean, it seems like all of these blessings have been magical blessings of one type or another. And we have Neptune and Gemini in the 6th. A lot of Gemini and a lot of 6th house tonight. Okay. Well, Aquarius, it just looks like there might be some fun, exciting times ready for you. Romance and originality. I mean, who's original if not you, Aquarius? Nobody is the answer to that. The fairy gift of enchantment from the realm of the Fae. All right. Fairy magic is a blessing to us all. When the gift of fairy magic comes to you, let there be a sense that whatever you touch has a spark of magic to it, a little extra life force flowing through the fingers. Okay. Aquarians, hot hands. Looking at natal charts, if you see a prominent Uranus or Uranus, conjuncting or connecting with your lights in one way or another with sun or moon, conjuncting an angle, involved with your 6th house, those are healing hands. These are the hands that can channel and conduct electricity. Okay, let's see. You are a blessed child of the Fae, and they offer you now their magic, this entry into the natural world, so that you too can know the gift of the touch that brings life to the world. Blessings of fairy magic to you, friend. Okay, so just saying it's time to get some magic cranking here, Aquarius. I talk about what manifestation means, and everything starts with an idea or an inspiration that comes out of the ether, things insubstantial. But in order to manifest, it has to come through your body in some way. So we're talking about the hands here having kind of, magical hands. And it's saying, Aquarius, it is time for you to bring this inspiration through and make it something physical, that the fairies are there and ready to help you move something from the immaterial into the material. And this says trust, romance, and originality, but trust isn't on here. Trustworthy friend, lover, or soulmate. Okay. Treasure him, but never think you own him or you'll drive him away. Well, that's you, Aquarius. The card can also indicate a need to explore your own creativity. Okay. All right. I just think, and here we've got Neptune. So this is spiritual connection. Gemini is messages coming through, and 6th house is in order for you to serve. So it's time for you to bring your original gifts to bear, to think about it in magical terms and in that Aquarian way of taking a leap from here's the idea I have, and we can leap over half of the steps and make it manifest. That's the fairy magic. So time to dream, time to take your original voice and the connection to spirit, bring the messages through, and serve the greater good, serve humanity. All right. I want something, there's a hole in this. I want something a little bit more here. This can talk about dreams, information that comes through in dreams, information that comes through when you're writing poetry or you're doing trance kind of stuff. But I think that's just the message, is this week, Aquarius, it's time to get your hands on the materials and let the magic happen. You've got this fairy blessing, time to just let the magic happen and let it flow through you. Let it express what you want to express. And in the realm of work, Aquarius, you can bring your spirituality into the workplace. You can, just by being who you are. You don't have to name it. You don't have to, explain what you do to other people or open yourself up in that way. Just be your magical self. You can keep it on the down low unless there's somebody that you can trust to share it with. But keep it on the down low. Do your magic. And when people go, oh my God, how do you do that? Just say, I don't know. Just me. I'm just lucky that way. Whatever. But yeah, I think you can bring a lot of more of your magical self into the work that you do, and let that work be more of a channel of spirit. Okay. It's been interesting working with two oracle decks. I had gotten out the Celtic Tarot, but I don't know. Being that it's Green Day, I don't even like calling it St. Patrick's Day. It's the Bring the Snakes Back to Ireland Day. I was going to get a snake skin and put it on my altar, on my little thing. Do you see? I redid my desk. Looky. I don't have to keep pulling on my cloth. Yay! That's how good I felt. I cleared off my space here. Oops. What's that? Solar wheel. All right, let's take a general message. Give me a general message for everybody. They're telling me take 3. Okay, we'll take that one too. Okay. We have the cow/bull, the owl, and the hearth fire. Usefulness, hospitality, stealth, solitude, secrecy, and family support and nourishment. All right. So we've got hospitality and family support and nourishment on the other side. So this talks about the idea of having family come together, you know, setting the table, giving out your hospitality, and having the family gathering around the hearth fire. But then we've got the owl, stealth, solitude, and secrecy. So it is kind of a caution there that we need to keep things contained, you know, not have the entire neighborhood over. All right, let me take another look here. As we're going into the spring, and I know I talked about this in my new moon chart reading and in our prayer circle last week, that now that we're seeing kind of the end in sight, or at least, you know, the first end in sight, there's going to be some grief popping up about what we've lost. And, you know, there's a lot of collective grieving that we haven't been able to do because we haven't been able to be with each other. But at the same time that that's coming up, keep, you know, a part of your mind on the things that you've learned this last year. What have you learned about yourself? What resilience have you found that you didn't know you had? How tough are you? And I'll answer that. You're tougher than you thought you were. Okay? You're stronger than you thought. And I want to very strongly tell you that you need to have some conversations with yourself every day, and every day be telling yourself what a fucking fabulous job you did this year. You know, you've really done something. We've been through times we've been through something historic now. And think about how you think when you look at history and think, oh, you know, the flu epidemic or the pandemic of, what was it, 1918. What was that like? Oh, what was that like? It was like this. We've been through it now. You've been through it. So there's some things that you can add to your opinion about yourself, that you're strong, that you're tough, that you're resilient, that, you know, you get knocked down, but you get up again. You know, go and listen to some fucking Chumbawamba if you need to. But I want to caution you against any kind of self-criticism when you look back at this year and how you were and how things went. I don't care how much weight you gained. I don't care how messy things got. I don't care what bad habits you might have slid into. You were coping and you were getting through some really shitty times. Tough, scary, oppressive, abusive, dangerous, shitty times. And look at you, there you sit. And you made it through. And we're going to keep making it through because we're not, and it's not an end, you know, cycles just keep going, but now things are on the upswing. And I just want you to remind yourself every single day when you look in the mirror, I want to look yourself straight in the eye and tell that woman, that person, that they did a fucking good job. They did a damn good job this year. Okay. So the cow and the bull also talk about things that serve, you know, beasts that serve humanity. They serve us by sacrificing and feeding us, by sacrificing their labor. And the world over, cultures use cattle, you know, for work animals, for food animals, for, you know, leather and meat and labor and bone broth. And I'm getting ready to start making some bone broth for a friend who's starting chemo. And I've made bone broth for somebody else that was going through chemo. It's incredibly dense nutrition that's very absorbable. And someone offered this to her for me, and she's like, yes, please. So I'm going to be making bone broth. And I am grateful to the animals that sacrifice and that give their lives for us. You know, we're all part of this wheel. The owl in the center. Okay. So giving thanks for the things that have sustained us through this year. Spending some time going really deeply internal. I know we've spent so much time with ourselves this year, but has it been quality time? So spending some quality time with yourself. And like I said, talking about telling yourself how well you've done. I don't know, this owl is sticking out in the middle for me. Anybody have an insight there? Owls talk about secrecy and stealth and silence. I wonder if it's talking about, you know, there's a part of ourselves that we can pour our hearts out to somebody. There's always going to be a part of ourselves that's just in here, you know, and the better relationship we can have with ourselves on that deep soul level, the better it's going to be all the way around. But know that we're coming out of this, oh, there we go, ding, ding. We're coming out of this solitude. We're coming out of this solitude and into the time where we can be with our families again. And we've got Jupiter in Cancer, generosity, feeding the masses. There's the cows there, the food that we have, the resources that we can share with others. We have these animals that sacrifice themselves. Well, we are part of that cycle too. What do we have that we can be generous with? What gifts can we give that will nurture people? And will help to heal us on a really deep-seated level. That 12th house, we're going through a time where we've had so much ick come up, this Pluto through Capricorn. We got another 3 years of this stuff, you guys. And as we go through that, there's stuff in the deep collective psyche that needs to be healed. We have deep collective trauma. You know, all of our cultural issues. So as we come out of this solitude and start to gather around the hearth fire, it's time to kind of connect with each other and talk about the things that we've learned at this deep level and where we're at right now. And, you know, we can help each other through these changes on a psychic level. Yes, owls are definitely inner wisdom. A mix of coping and quality time, yeah. Absolutely. From practicing gratitude and from the solitude that we've been through. What wisdom have you gained from this enforced solitude? You know, what have you found out? What ways have you learned to nurture yourself? And we can take these things that we've learned in this solitude and now bring them back to the communal fire as we gather with each other in person. I'll tell you what, I cannot wait to get Dances of Universal Peace started again. I cannot wait. It's, you know, it was a year. I think it was last January that I did my last one. I think we had one scheduled in February and I was getting sick and I canceled it. And then I got really sick. And no, it wasn't COVID. I mean, I'm so tempted, since this shot made me feel so much better, so tempted to think maybe that was COVID I had, but the symptoms were different and nobody else in my family got it. And it was too early. There weren't cases around here. So I don't fucking know. But anyway, I can't wait to do that because it was before, it was kind of like, yeah, dancing. I don't want to get together and dance. That's weird. But I think people now have a new appreciation of community and what we can do when we're in physical space together. And to be able to present dances after we've been through this, and they have, you know, that healing space and this healing movement and music. And I just can't wait until we can do it again. I'm thinking come summer, you know, hopefully maybe in June I'll be able to have dances again, but we'll see. We'll see. Anyhow, dig deep, look at those resources that you have and how you can be generous in nurturing people and helping our collective psyche to heal, because it's time for us to start marching forward there. All right? Okay. Right on. I know, being forced to sit still. I have another friend that was talking about that, and she's a go type A goer. And she was talking about, you know, having to just sit still and confront herself and make friends with herself. Fortunately, I did this when I was in my 20s and I lived alone the first time. But so many people have never even had the opportunity. So I hope that this solitude, I mean, I'm like, oh, what does that all mean? Duh. Sticking out like a sore thumb there. Yeah, we are very ill. We are, you know, with misogyny and racism are two of our biggest issues. Until we can deal with what has been done to women on this planet and what has been done to non-white people on this planet, we got a long road to go. But we know about it now. We're aware. Things are in our consciousness. Now there's a whole gang in our society that are not conscious. They are dead asleep. They're sleepwalking. They're delusional. And I don't know what we're going to do about these folks. There are actually detox things happening. Hey, Deb, you made it. Just about to finish up here, darling, but I'm glad you made it. But there are actual, like, detox people that have worked in, what's the word that I want? Deprogramming people that have gotten involved in cults. And there are groups that are starting to work with the people that bought into the whole QAnon stuff. And families are bringing family members to these groups so these people can be deprogrammed from these wacky ideas that are out there. It's really something. It's really something to behold what some of these people think is true. And I'm hoping we can go back to a place where you can't just get on the airwaves and put out whatever the fuck you want as truth. You know, there used to be at least politically, this equal time thing where if one side was putting out political information, the other side was owed equal time. Reagan era took that out. So we ended up with Fox News. And we see where it's gotten us. So anyway, that's what I got for you tonight, you guys. I think This is going to be the most blessed spring that we've ever witnessed. You know, I am looking forward to the first like stretch of rain. I mean, we had so much dark in December, and this spring already it's just been sunshine, 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 and you know, mix of sun and clouds, but it keeps getting sunny again, and I'm so loving it. But I'm also looking forward to the end of this month. It looks like we're going to get a good Northeast Ohio stretch of just spring rain, you know, soft rainy days. And I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to all of the water tables being filled up, and Colorado got dumped on. So it is going to be like one of the most blessed springs I can remember. So join me on Saturday for prayer circle. We're going to work on choosing our seeds, choosing the seeds that we want to plant in the garden that we prepared in our prayer circle last Saturday. What else? Oh, guess what, you guys? I'm out of decks. I am out of decks. I don't have another tarot deck to review. I don't have another oracle deck to review. And I don't have any money to spend on them right now, so I'm not sure what's going to happen on Friday. I'm sure there will be a video of some sort. I mean, I still need to launch the Astro Snacks on a weekly basis, but I'm still kind of struggling with Astro Snacks. I'm not sure. I guess what I need, here's what I need. I need your questions. I need your astrology questions, because what I get stuck in is I want to give you like big deep lessons, and it's going to be too much, and I need to, it's hard to back up and do things from a, you know, a beginner's level when you've been doing it as long as I have. So what I need is your questions about astrology, and I will start addressing those. I do have a few you know, on the list that I can start with. If you are one of my patrons, I am actively working on the next installment, and there is one more installment on the flat wheel. I lied. I said last time was the last flat wheel lesson, but it's not. So that's going to drop probably within the next week. Let's see what else. Okay, so if you want to send me a deck, click down below, hit that wish list, send me a deck that I can review. Send me a donation if you feel my work is worth it. Come in on Saturday for prayer circle. I'm actually starting to write cycles of prayers for the prayer beads, and those are coming. Who knows when? Soon. Very soon. They just can't happen before they happen. It's so funny. I go through these periods where I'm trying and trying and trying. I have shot the tutorial video twice now. I actually produced the last one, and it's a hot mess. And I decided, no, I'm not, you know, it's like I kind of woke up and went, I'm not putting that out. I'm going to do it again, and I'm going to do it in a much better way. And, you know, when I try to get things out before their time, you know, before it's time for them to manifest, I end up in a mess. And it's always the pressure of having to make money. It is always the pressure of having to make money. And as soon as I forget about that and remember that magic exists and just do, you know, just follow along with the flow, everything's okay. So anyway, yep, I got no decks. Please catch up. Please catch up, Rose. There's a lot to catch up with. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. I don't know what I'm going to unbox on Friday. I've got a couple little random decks that aren't really decks to read with. They're just kind of weird things. So I could look at some of those, I guess. If that would be interesting. I don't know. Any road, I think that's it. I hope you've had a wonderful St. Patrick's Day. I'm going to take another fairy blessing for all of us. Here we go. One more, fairies, wee folk. The other crowd, the good people, tell us. Oh, look at this. Check out this, how they fell. They fell in a strange way. All right, we'll take one out of here. Give me one. Tell me your blessing for all of us and all of those who come and watch my little channel. By the way, you guys, I am barreling on the way to my first 1,000. We're almost there. Blessing of stability. This has come out a couple times before. So look at this. Look at these rocks balancing. Get your feet on the ground. We are getting our feet on the ground. We have a lot of questions that have been answered. Things are starting to settle. We're starting to come down to the ground because it's not everything up in the air now. Somebody's actually driving the car now. It's not just careening down a hill. So the fairies give you a blessing of stability for this coming week. Accept that blessing. Have a great talk with yourself in the mirror. And start thinking about the seeds that you would like to plant in your energetic garden this year. And then I'll see you on Saturday for Prayer Circle. All right, you guys. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for hanging out and for putting up with me. I'll see you next time. It's me. It's Luna. Bye-bye. Blessed be.